All right. Good morning, guys. Um, Today is February 6th, and going over the analysis for US 30, gold, and BTC. And let's see what we have here. So, if you guys remember, I was in this position. So this is the position from yesterday that I was in for the break and continuation entry of an SAR level. So you can see during the live session, if you guys remember, this trade went all the way up and came close to stop loss, but it came back down, and now it's halfway to TP. So again, this is the critical part about my preference for a high time frame. We almost came straight to TP this morning, but we had this rejection. So if you guys remember, when I turned on the zones for you guys yesterday, I was talking about you need to look at where, if they're going to push price up, where would they go to pick up liquidity? We have this hourly bullish order block right here, and we also have a demand level. So most likely price is going to come down here. Price is going to come down here to 28.44 before any push up. But again, that doesn't have to happen. It's all about a game of probabilities. But for me, gold is looking pretty bearish based off of where we are right now. So I'm still in this position. And I did mention most of these trades, the test and rejection and the break and continuation trades, they are intraday trades. So you'll probably sometimes hold them for a whole day, sometimes for a few hours. But again, I'm still in this position right here. I don't know if anybody hopped in yesterday when I was in. And again, here you can see here, we have created a rejection SAR at 2870, and it's in a demand zone. And also on the other end, it's also around a bearish order block. So if this does validate as well, this would be a triple or an A plus setup that's right here. The only issue with this is that price became super bearish after interacting or after rejecting off of that SAR level. So these are some of the trades that I say, if the trade goes in your favor without tapping you in, you just go ahead and delete your pending order. So really, if price does come back up here, I wouldn't enter this sell on gold at 2870 because price has already gone super bearish after rejecting from that zone. So normally what you want to see is price rejecting from that zone and then price coming back up and retesting it, and that's where you're setting your pending order. And gold is pushing back down heavily right now. So if we break this low, or if we close below, what time does this hourly candle close? In 18 minutes. But I think in 18 minutes, we should be able to push down $10 for gold, but we'll continue following it. So let's look at what we have here for the 15-minute time frame and 30-minute time frames. Let's see if we have anything. So for US 30, there was a sell here on the 15-minute time frame. The question would be is, let's see. Okay, so we're in a supply zone, so that's good. But again, here for US 30, the zone I was looking at here is this one. But again, right, I don't trade the 15 and 30-minute timeframes, but same thing that I talked about for gold right now on the hourly time frame. So we did reject from this zone, so you'd have expected price to come back and retest and give you, trigger your pending order. So I don't have to. I don't see anything for US 30 on the 15. On the 30-minute time frame, same thing, nothing for US 30. On gold for the 15-minute, nothing here. Nothing here for the 15-minute, nothing for the 30-minute time frame. For the hourly time frames, I don't see any levels. For US 30, the nearest level that it has created is all the way down here at 44,666. but price will probably take a little while before it gets back or it gets all the way down here. I wish we really had a so here on US 30. So we have a break and continuation on US 30. However, it's nothing that it's similar to the gold trade from yesterday, and price would be at break, price would be in drawdown right now because here you do something like this. And this one, you probably have a 200-point stop loss. Actually, not 200-point. This one, you'd end up having a 300-point stop loss and 300-point TP. So price would be in drawdown for this trade. And this one would ideally be a break and continuation. However, I do think so. US 30 has been pushing up the whole of yesterday, right? So I do see US 30 pushing back up a little bit, and then it forms an SAR rejection level somewhere around here. And that would be perfect because that would be a nice, perfect sell. And also remember tomorrow is um tomorrow is NFP. So I don't see I wouldn't really bundle up in sales right now. So nothing on the hourly for gold as well. On the 4 hour, all right, give me one quick second. I need to pick up a call real quick. So give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. So let's see, what were we doing? So we said there was nothing on the 15-minute, and there goes gold pumping down. So nothing for the 15 minute and 30-minute on gold. On gold, we have this 30-minute. So gold on the 30-minute, we do have these three rejection levels. They are in demand, and we do have this bullish order block. Now, if you are a 30-minute trader, we'll see how this 30-minute candle closes in the next 10 minutes. Again, remember, I do not take 30-minute entries. I don't take 15-minute entries. I only focus on this hourly. So you can see again, right? This hourly is almost at TP. And actually, we just created 2 hourly rejection entries. So this might be an opportunity to buy gold in the next hour. So let's see how this hourly candle closes, and then we'll see about that. So possible setup on gold that's coming up. Now the question here is, so if I were to take a buy here on gold, so let's assume, uh, let's see. So let's assume it doesn't interact with this level, right? It only rejects off of this hourly sell. And we do have this bullish order block right there. That bullish order block right there. So by default, TradingView is giving us a $15 stop loss. Now here, of course, you round up to the nearest, psychological level or number. Let's see. Level or number. And then, so it would be like a $20 stop loss. So for this particular one as well, one thing I am seeing here is this 4-hour buy that's all the way down here, right? So you do see that. So in any instance, I would rather wait for gold to get to 28.12, because what's the other thing you can see here? We have huge structure. So as much as we have two level of rejections here, this might be a little tricky. It does meet all setups, especially if we do get a rejection off of 28.44 level. This would actually be a A+ setup, because ideally you'd get a rejection, you'd be in a demand zone, and you'd have the order block in your favor. This one as well, in order to fill through this trade or to have a wider stop loss, this one I would recommend to having a $20 stop loss. If you can, even making it past this zone, but you can see here you're starting to have like a $60 stop loss. So once you start getting to such levels where your stop loss is a bit too wide, I don't recommend going that way. So given that we have another level of rejection below this too, this means that price can easily, you can have a rejection here, yes, but price can easily come here in order to have now a nice pattern. And you can see here, this one would be a level of structure, a deeper level of structure. And sure, here where we have these rejections, we have this level of structure because on your left hand side we had this consolidation. But given that we have a deeper level or deeper rejection area that has been created here, and this is on the 4-hour time frame, personally I would sit out on this gold buy. But if we did not have this 4-hour buy here on gold, this one would be a trade I would take. However, for anybody who has any confluences for a buy on gold at 28.50, 28.44 area, this is an A+ setup on gold. Best case scenario is that in the next 6 minutes, we have this hourly candle closing below these two levels of rejection, and that would be perfect because it would invalidate the setup. On the 4-hour setup, 4-hour time frame, nothing for US 30. For gold, we do have a 4-hour setup here. So the other option is for you to wait for the 4-hour candle. If you wait for the 4-hour candle, that might give you a better buy entry on gold. So if you wait for the next 3 hours here on gold to see how this 4-hour candle closes, you might get a nice buy entry here on gold. So for this one, you can get away with maybe a $20 stop loss and $20 TP for gold. So in any case, Personally, I would rather wait for this 4 hour setup on gold, hoping that we have this 4 hour candle rejecting and closing above that entry level right there. Let's see something I need to. Um, risk to reward. Wait. Save as. Um, right, let me delete all of this. Because this one's we're not utilizing the 1:2 risk to reward anymore. Just want to make sure by default it loads trading views default. Yeah, so there it is. So trading view is giving you a $30 stop loss, $30 TP. So in order to round this up, maybe you round off to $40. But even then, I don't like having stop losses and TPs above $30 for gold. So maybe this one for gold, you would actually end up rounding down because I don't like if you start going to like $40 TP and stop loss, you'll probably be in a trade uh for like 2 days. So there goes the gold entry. So almost coming down to TP. Let's see how this reacts right here. So we have 3 minutes. I want to see if in the next 3 minutes we can get a rejection off of this. So I'm almost hitting TP on my trade. I did have a swap of $162. So this one again, I took only on one account and not all of my accounts because I don't have a preference for, or I don't like the break and continuation entry. So I only took it with one account. But the account I took it was a 200K account, and all of my trades I risk 1%. So this one, if I win, it will be about like a $1,800 TP or profit. So let's see, almost there at TP for this one. I want to see how we react here on this one, on this hourly entry. See if we can get down to it. In theory, you get $15. Let's see. Hmm. See if we can touch that. So best case for me, even because I really don't want these areas to validate. Because yes, this is an A plus setup, but I don't want these areas to validate because of this 4 hour buy that's all the way here at 2,800. So one of the best case scenarios is that in the next 2 minutes, this candle closes exactly where it is, which should ideally invalidate this hourly sell setup, right? Because if it closes above here, that's a buy setup. If it closes in the middle here, it means that the next hourly candle would have to reject and close above this zone in order for me to set a pending order here, or to even think about setting a pending order here. Or the next hourly candle can literally close below here and then again invalidate that zone. So I really want to see how we close there for that particular trade. Okay. So full TP for this particular trade for yesterday. So again, this one wasn't an official trade. I took it before the live session. During the live session, if you wanted to, you could have taken it with me. But anyway, if you ended up taking it, you'd be full TP would have gotten hit. And then let's see. I want this hourly candle to close below this level right here. And then let's see if the zones are holding. So the zones are holding. This would be an A plus setup. Again, only issue is here, right? And since I've already made profit with this trade for the day, so remember this month I've only taken, or since last week I've only taken three trades. Two of them have been winners, and one of them, actually, I think all three have been. Let me see. Yeah, I've taken like three trades. And I think only one loss. So I have like one net win. So I'm not really looking to risk taking this other trade, knowing that price can shoot all the way back down here. So for this particular trade, it is an A plus setup. If I were to take this trade, I would have to extend my stop loss and TP, which would mean I would need like a $50 TP and $50 stop loss, and I'm not willing to do that for gold. But anyway, let's see. So 20 seconds. Let's see how this will close in the next 20 seconds right there. And I'm really hoping it closes below so that I don't have any conflicts for if I want to enter it or not. Three, two, one. Okay, so setup has been invalidated. So in any case, this would be a break and continuation entry. However, you wouldn't take it because we're in a green zone. We are also in a bullish order block. So this is perfect. So I'm glad that that trade or that entry closed the way it has. So right now, I really, unless I move to the other, what is it called? I moved to the other trend line and SAR rejections chart. There's no entries currently for the hourly and the 4 hour. So let me just send this real quick in the Discord. So this took like a day, literally took a day to hit, but it still hits. So that's again another reason why I prefer the hourly time frame and 4 hour, because the stop loss you'll get on the hourly and 4 hour time frames, the stop loss is wide enough for you to survive any reversal on your end. If I would have gotten stopped out of this trade, most likely gold would have ended up shooting to the upside and my analysis would have just been wrong for that particular trade. But this one, right, I was able to do like a $20 TP, $20 stop loss, and I was able to capture that. So let's see. Da, 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 da. Mm, trade. Actually, this one. Uh, hmm, mm, mm, no, 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 no. Mm. Mm, so that. Um, all right. So yeah, so that's yesterday's. So TP was at 26 or 2K TP, but I had a $160 swap because of the carryover of the trade to a new day. So, profit for that trade 1,850. And then what I'll do, I will uh let me do this real quick. Um, I will document this for my journal, and that should be it. So I'm actually glad we didn't get that buy opportunity for gold right there. Um, hmm, mm, interesting. Huh. Okay. Give me a moment. I want to share my other screen that has the trend line and SAR rejection because I don't see anything else to go over. Um, no, 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 no. Hmm. Okay. I'll deal with this later. All right. So let me share the other screen that has the trend line and SAR rejection. Before then, so again, right? Same thing yesterday when I told you guys, if you have entries on a lower time frame and you're conflicted about them, go to the higher time frame. The higher time frame will give you those confirmations, because if you guys remember yesterday on gold, we had entries on the 15-minute and 30-minute time frame, but there was a conflict of the distance of the stop loss and the distance of the TP. But when we went to the hourly time frame, the same entry was there and it was confirmed, and we waited for it to be confirmed. And you can see how I was able to survive that or push to the upside and was able to survive that. So same thing here. You see the hourly time frame. You see how the trade has been invalidated due to this big candle closing below our two rejection zones. But if we go to the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame is telling me, just wait, I might give you an entry in 3 hours, because price can easily come back down here, because we already know we are in an hourly bullish order block. So this can be manipulation to the downside. And then, this can be manipulation to the downside, and then price comes in, taps the liquidity in this order block and pushes that up. And guess what time frame we would get a confirmation for that? The 4-hour time frame. So here's just a matter of looking up and seeing if we get that entry right there during the 4-hour time frame. On the daily time frame, let's see if we have anything. Okay, perfect. You see the US 30, what it has done? This is exactly, now this is a rare trade to come by. I don't think I've ever found a rejection entry on the daily time frame on the live session. Now here, what do we have here? If we look at the confluences, we have this daily candle that has formed this rejection level at 45,030. Perfect. If we turn on our zones, you can see we're in a supply zone, but right, we talk about we don't want to trade in zones where the zones are overlapping. So here we can see that the demand zone is overlapping with the supply zone. So that is a red flag. Now, when you go to higher time frames, especially the daily time frame, most of the times the zones will be overlapping, because again, it's a daily candle. It has 24 1-hour candles within it. So that is ideally, most of the times you'll find the zones overlapping. So I wouldn't be worried about the zones overlapping here on the daily time frame. The other reason for that is here in the item number 3 or confluence number 3, what is it? We are in nothing but bearish order blocks. So we have a weekly bearish high above here, daily bearish high, daily bearish low, weekly bearish low. So we are in one giant confluence of order blocks. So here what I would do, if this daily candle closes below below this rejection level at 45,030, I will be taking a sell on US 30. Now you can see by default TradingView is giving us a 650 point TP and stop loss. So that is nice. That is nice for US 30. But given that, I'll round off to the nearest number. Now this is a tricky one, because I told you guys I don't do like 70 points, 80 points, 90 points stop loss. So same thing here. This one would be like, since here now we are dealing with hundreds of points. So this is a tricky one, but since we're dealing with hundreds of points, you have an option to go for 1,000 point stop loss, 1,000 point TP. Now, 1,000 points is a lot for US 30. 1,000 points, this is a lot for US 30. So here, if you look at the time frame, and actually based off of how US 30 has been moving, not too bad, but looking at what we have here, I would be assuming that if US 30 is going to go bullish, let me see if we turn on our zones. Where has the green zone started to appear? The green zone is about, or the demand zone is about 44,622, which also lines up with this hourly bullish order block. So it is possible that US 30 can play around this zone here before rolling back down there. So knowing that, maybe I don't want to go for that 1,000 point TP and stop loss. So I know by default TradingView was giving me like a 650 point stop loss. So then this one, I would be okay with going for a 700 100-point TP and stop loss, which is wide for US 30. And even then, your 700 TP and stop loss is below this hourly bullish low. So here for this particular trade, you might get stuck with price trying to break down this hourly bullish order block. But I normally talk about scale, or what is it called? I normally talk about what's the term? Not scrolling, what is it? Rounding up. I'm sorry, rounding up to the nearest whole number or psychological level that the default trading view, TP and stop loss, or default zones that the trading view long and short position gives you. So trading view was giving us a 650 point stop loss and TP. So in this instance, just do like 100-point stop loss and TP. So if the daily candle closes this way, I will be looking to take the sell on US 30. I'll set a pending order at that level and go for a 700-point stop loss and 700-point TP. On the daily time frame, nothing for gold. So, and I did say for BTC, I do not trade the BTC entries. Or I don't trade BTC for the trend line. I'm sorry, I don't trade BTC for the SAR rejection entries. For US, so again, I'm not really looking to do anything for the 15-minute time frame, but for 15-minute traders, this would be an entry for US 30 right here. But anyway, I'm not going to go over things that I don't trade. And also we have this daily bearish order block here, but let me again do this real quick. I need to delete this. And I haven't heard any alerts for the trend line and SAR rejection, so we don't have any entries for that. So this one right here, you'll be getting what is this 70-point TP, so maybe you go for 100-point TP and stop loss. So this would be an entry for US 30, but again, this is on the 15-minute time frame. Nothing to take there, so maybe we will get an hourly entry for US 30. All right, so I will share my other screen. Again, this one is, I will put a notice here. Not in this trade, as I only trade 1 hour time frames and above. But for people who trade 15-hour, oh, I'm sorry, not 15-hour, 15-minute time frames, this would be an entry for US 30. It does line up with all confluences. However, we do, you can see there's a separation between the red zone and green zone. We do have a bearish order block here. However, the bearish order block is below your stop loss, so that's good. The one that you want to be careful of, if let's say we had an entry here, a buy entry that's right here, and we have this bearish order block literally next to our entry. So that's where you're cautious about the order blocks. But in this instance, the order block is below your entry, so that's good enough. And here, you just have to be careful to make sure that your stop loss is wide enough to go below this daily bearish low. Because here, on the other hand, what can happen is that you need to be aware price can come down here, tap into this bearish order block and go down and stop you out. So that's the only thing you need to be careful about when you have an opposing order block that's within your stop loss. All right, so sharing my other screen that has the trend line and SAR entries, and then let's see what we have. So far, there's no entries that have come up on the live session. So US 30 on the 15-minute and 30-minute, so far we don't have anything that's here for a buy. Price is actually outside of the sell. Price is outside the price is outside the trend lines here. This trend line should have fired a prime break of support. Give me 1 second. I think Some of my alerts might be off. Let's see, why did it not fire a prime break of support here? Let's see, if I go to my alerts, US 30, move this. That's 30 prime break support for the 30-minute. Oh. Interesting. BTC rejection support 15-minute. There's no entry here. So there's no closure. So what I'm looking for here is closure above an SAR level, which we do not have. I'm curious. I don't know why we didn't get a prime break entry. Interesting. Prime break resistance. Prime break support. Okay, never mind. It's fine. Yeah, so US 30, no buys or no sells for the trendline and SAR rejection. For gold here, what do I feel? For gold here, unless this, I think this trend line adjusted, because this should have been a, wonder why this one wasn't a rejection support. Let me do this. Let me replay. Okay, so the trend line adjusted after. Okay, so the trend line adjusted after. So we might get a, on the 15-minute time frame, we might get a trend line and SAR rejection entry for gold. And these ones are normally pretty quick entries, so we'll see. But for us to get a trend line and SAR rejection, price would have to come back down here, reject off of this trend line and close above this SARs, and then you'd enter a trade there. And again, this trend line and SAR rejection entries are my most profitable entries, so I really like when they line up. But currently, I was thinking that we would have had one here, but unfortunately, this just means even though the candle is rejecting from this trend line, this just means that the trend line adjusted afterwards. So this is an area of interest that I'll be looking at during the course of the day to take a buy for. So it's either I get it on the 4-hour time frame. So if you guys remember, we have a 4-hour zone on gold, a rejection zone. So it's either that or something like this. And this one would have been a perfect trade because in this one, it closed above the SAR line. And then you just wait for price to come back down and you do your stop loss below the previous low or something. Like stop loss below the previous low, something like this. And this is only if, unfortunately, price did not, or we did not get a validation of the entry. So you do like something like this. But anyway, we'll probably get it either on the 4 hours. So this one would have been a nice trade if we had gotten this as a rejection of support. But unfortunately, we did not, it did not validate as such. So on gold, nothing on the 15-minute for buys, nothing on 15-minute for sales because price is actually on the support trend line. So there's nothing here. For BTC, we had a rejection of support. So this is what I'm talking about by rejection of support on that gold time frame or gold chart, right? So we did not have a rejection of support there. Here for BTC, we got a rejection of support. However, if you guys remember yesterday, if you get a rejection of support where the trend line is intersecting with your SAR, you won't have an area for you to enter because you would not wait for the retracement or you wouldn't wait for the retest of this SAR because the SAR right now is already outside of your trend line. So you want when you get a rejection of support or rejection of resistance, if you're getting a rejection of support, you want that candle that gives you the rejection of support to close above a green SAR. So if this rejection support candle would have closed above this green SAR, and I turn on the zones, and even if it had closed above this SAR right here, it wouldn't have been a trade I would take, because again, what's confluence number 2? There is no green zone. But let's assume there was a green zone, like this green zone here, or demand zone had stretched all the way there. That's where I would have entered, say there, and then stop loss below this previous low, and then that's how I would have ridden up that trade. So, but unfortunately here for BTC, it only validated with the rejection entry, so only confluence number 1. Confluence number 2, for since this is a trend line and SAR rejection, it has slightly different confluences. So for this one, there was no closure above an SAR for me to enter the buy into. And then looks like pretty much all my trend lines here for BTC on the 30-minute are messed up, so I'll have to fix that later, or indicators. So again, nothing for BTC on the 30-minute. If we go to the hourly time frame, what do we have? If we go to the hourly time frame, there is no entries for rejection, so there are no rejection entries for US30, gold, and BTC. Same thing here for gold, nothing that's going on. And then for BTC, this is US30. On the hourly time frame, there was a rejection, or 4-hour time frame, there was a rejection of resistance, but unfortunately there wasn't any SARs. Price did not close below any relevant SARs. And this will happen if price has gone to an area where it hasn't been in a while, and there's no price action towards the left. So in this instance, this I would have assumed, or I would have wished there was some sell SAR levels here for that 4-hour entry, but there were none. Same thing here for BTC and gold, no entries for the 4-hour time frame based off of the trend line and SAR rejection strategy. On the daily time frame, what do we have here? On the daily time frame, there's no entry that I can see here so far. So yeah, nothing so far. But so let's go back to the other chart that has the that entry we were looking at on the 15-minute time frame for US30. So if we look at this, and I like when such things happen, right? Because I definitely want to show you guys red flags in real time. Right? We want to see those red flags in real time. So you see what I told you guys? This particular one, again, the 15-minute and 30-minute time frames, they're tricky, right? So this one would only give you like 100-point stop loss. And again, as much as this daily bearish order block wasn't close to your entry, like right here, it's still somewhere, around your entry, around your stop loss. And if you guys remember the markup that I showed you guys, that here we can get the rejection to the upside, and then price comes to this daily bearish order block and then comes down here, right? So again, I know some of this, and for me personally, trading on this lower time frames, on 30-minute and 15-minute time frames, it kind of sometimes gives me FOMO, where I start justifying why I want to get into that trade. So this is another particular reason why I do not want to trade these lower time frames. Now, it doesn't mean that US30 cannot easily come back from here and go all the way to the top, but you have to think of it as a game of probability and ask yourself, what is the probability that this trade will reverse from here, knowing that we have a daily bearish order block like around there. And again, remember, daily bearish order or daily order blocks, whether it's a bearish or bullish one, they rarely come in. So again, that's why I put a notice here. I'm not in this trade since I only trade the 1 hour and above. And I might go a step forward to remove the 15-minute and 30-minute charts entirely from my setup, so that I'm only left with the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. But I wanna keep them on so that I can, because I know there's probably people who trade 15-minute and 30-minute time frames and even lower time frames, just to mark up trades for you all. But you can see, right, this particular one, if we were in that trade right? Will probably not be a good one. Now, just remember for US 30, keep in mind the daily time frame, right? So price can easily take this trade out, and then guess what it might do? And the other thing you guys want to keep an eye out on as well is the 9 EMA and the 200 EMA. Also watch those EMAs when it comes to watch those EMAs when it comes to watch those EMAs when it comes to entering or showing or inputting your TP and stop loss, because those are also areas of reversal. So price can easily come down there, reject off of any of these zones, and then go to, where is it? What's the price line of 45,034 in the open of the new daily candle? 45,034. So price can easily come up here tomorrow for that. And you see where it is, where that daily buy is here, before now coming back all the way to the downside. So if I were you, I would wait for that, for this price action, and hopefully get an entry on the daily time frame. But other than that, that will be it for today's live session. For gold, keep an eye out on this 4 hour. You see what it's doing? Keep an eye out on this 4 hour time frame. If the trade does validate, I will send it in the group, in the Discord. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So yeah, that should be it for the live session. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send them in the Discord. I am still working on the PDF where I will be going in depth in this for each of these strategies, and so that you guys can easily take the trades when I'm not on the live session. Because again, during the live session, we'll probably not have a bunch of entries. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow.